want to learn. That's another thing about me is I'm a lifelong learner. I'm like soaking it up all the time. What else can I do? What else can I do?
Right.
And I was scared, honestly. I'd never been scared to take an assignment, but this was at the #1 trauma center in the state of Texas.
It's a big state, too.
The Texas Medical Center. It was like a huge deal. Right. And they were like, we'll teach you everything you know. Like, you know all the other stuff. We'll teach you
what you need to know for this, we got you.
This and this. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was great. I loved it. I ended up.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Beyond Business. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button right below this video and follow Beyond Business on all your favorite social media platforms. Joining me today is a guest that I met and chatted with very briefly, just enough to know that I needed to get her in here. And I guess she was in the spirit of agreeing that she would do it. So we're going to get to know Marla Eovaldi together today. She is a Decatur native who's done a lot of things, and now she's back. So we're going to dive into that a little bit. Thank you very much for joining me, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me.
For sure. So right before we just started recording, I was racking my brain going, what did you say to me that made me go, wait, I got to have you on? You just had some, I think for a real brief conversation, I found out a lot. You have an interesting life. And,
I'm friendly.
Yeah, and likewise. So, so let's start here. What I did know is that, to me, when I met you, you weren't local. And then we've established that you actually are back. So tell me, where did you grow up? Here?
Yes,
okay.
I grew up here, Decatur native.
Okay.
Grew up, went to Niagara High School.
Okay.
Millikin University grad.
Okay.
I've got a bachelor's degree in nursing.
All right.
And I've been a nurse a little over 30 years.
So that was when you got out of high school, you knew that's what
Absolutely.
you were doing.
My grandma was an LPN in Lincoln at the children's orphanage.
Okay.
For sick kids. And so I always aspired to be like Grandma Tian. So since I was little, probably 4 or 5 years old.
So was she around to see you reach your goal?
She was around to watch me graduate from Millikin.
Or I guess that's what I meant.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the goals kind of
really
never
proud.
stop. But
yes.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, and that takes a special kind of, to go into nursing, aside from it being difficult throughout my, life, I've known a few young ladies who have dove into the nursing thing and they just disappear for a while, because it's hard.
It's really hard.
And I only know a couple people who didn't finish, even though they seemed like people who were focused on it. But I think they were doing it for the career. Or for the finances, or for the security of a good job. You go to school, earn it, and I think somewhere in there, they realized, I don't think I'm this person. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like I've been pushed towards a career, and it's like I don't think I'm a people helper like that. So it's like, well, good thing you figured it out now.
It's not a fake it till you make it kind of career.
For real.
At all. The money is better now than it ever has been. I will say that.
Sure.
However, I tell my new grad nurses that if you're in this for the money, you won't graduate from this program.
Right.
Because you're just not going to be able to do it.
Well, and I think it's really hard to, or I guess it's easy for us to look at young people. And you can go, well, I'm telling you what you should do. So now you know what I didn't know. You know what I mean? Sure. And really, it's like most of them. Or if they're willing to go dig into school, it's for a paycheck one day. You know what I mean? And then the good ones fall in love with it, and they end up being great at it. And
sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. Okay. So you graduate from Millikin, and does that degree make you literally you're a nurse now?
Yes. Well, you have to take the state boards.
Okay.
And then you pass your boards.
Okay.
And I worked at St. Mary's.
Okay.
On a post-surgical floor, which was...
After you graduated?
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing and a really great experience. I had a wonderful preceptor. That's what we call teachers.
Okay.
In the clinical area. So she was incredible. Her name was Suzanne. She was 6 foot tall, German.
Okay.
I was scared to death of her.
She was
I did
good,
everything
though, huh?
she told me. Yes, sir. Everything she said, I did.
Yeah.
And, and I earned my wings, so to speak. And some.
How long did you work there at St. Mary's?
I worked at St. Mary's a little over 2 years.
And is there as a nurse, I know as the career goes on, I know the answer, but initially, is there like a certain role, or is it like, no, I'm an RN, so I'm doing RN shit no matter what?
Yeah, basically. So, there's different specialties in nursing, and I was on a surgical floor, so we took care of patients after surgery.
Okay.
And so it was really busy. And
is it where you land, or as a nurse, do you apply for?
That's a great question, because what I do now is I am the system coordinator for Memorial Health.
Okay.
So the system coordinator for all 5 Memorial
I'm thinking
Health.
Springfield. Oh, they're everywhere.
Decatur, Springfield.
Oh, wait, DMH is now Memorial Health?
Mm-hmm. That's
correct. Yeah, that's right.
So new grad nurses apply for the residency just like they would apply for a job.
Sure.
And where we have positions, and if it's a position that they're interested for, they interview for that position. So you do have to have some interest. I had already worked at St. Mary's and had 2 job offers before I even graduated because they knew me. I actually was an admin assistant, and while I was in nursing school, for the summer, I would cover everybody's vacations to have a job all summer. And so everybody knew me. And so I got 2 job offers, and I actually liked the job that I took. I liked the people on that unit. So that's why.
Oh, so while you're a nurse, people are still hunting you to come to their department if you're good. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's what I wonder. My only dealing with nurses has been like when or I guess I've had a few surgeries, but like, family stuck in the hospital for a while. Like, it's like, do you guys apply to deal with these people every day?
Yeah.
But
it's
it's resilient. Yeah, I'm telling you, everyone. I haven't never ran across one that I was like, what a jerk. You know what I mean? I just have lucked out overall. Sure. Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all human and we all have bad days.
Yeah.
But we don't put our bad days ahead of your bad day.
Right. Fair. It's hard to do.
Yes.
It's really hard to do. So I always looked at, I think most of the world looks at, nurses are chicks, right? And then when my dad was in the hospital in 2016, he was there for like 6 months, just a bunch of heart shit and kidneys, whatever, everything. He's good now, but
that's great. Good.
But his nurse was, so I ride motorcycles, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like I remember coming in and my dad being like, "Yeah, my nurse is rides motorcycles." And I'm like, okay, he comes in and I'm like, this is not fitting the bill in my mind at all. I know the guy still, dude. I mean, he was like my dad's savior, his best friend. Like, it was so cool. You know what I mean? It was like perfect. Like, he wasn't going to do well with anyone else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
But yeah, and I guess it just goes back because obviously every day this guy has however many people he's checking on. But 5 years later, our common interest is just that. Sure. I rode with him once after that, like right after that. He and I went and rode, sent my dad pictures, and
that's very cool.
And but so it was just
real people.
Yes, yeah.
We are real people,
right.
But do amazing things every day
for sure. But I think that's I've never been in a position to where I have to care for a living or whatever. Sure. Like, I've never had the responsibility to care about people.
Right.
So I think it's really noticeable. You know what I mean? I'm a good tipper if the waitress likes her job, his job, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm one of them. I pay attention. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, if you hate it, well, you're really going to hate this part.
You betcha. It's going to make you wish you picked something else today.
Yeah, should have done better.
Yes.
Well, no, that's interesting. So you bounced up out of Decatur. Is that after you finished at St. Mary's for your 2 years, or did you stick around longer?
So, no, I left I was interested in travel nursing.
Okay.
Now, mind you, this was
way before travel nursing was born.
Before it is what it is today.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even describe what it is today. It's totally different. But at the time, I guess my dad was a road tripper. Like, we got in the car and rode. He's from Eagle River, Wisconsin, way up north. And it's an 8-hour drive from Decatur.
Gotcha.
And it's like nothing to say to you, look, we're going to go to Eagle River this weekend. Great, Dad.
Right.
Let's
no
do
big
it.
deal.
So I, inherited that from him.
No big deal to jump on the road.
No big deal to get on the road.
Same.
And
I agree.
So one Sunday afternoon, I was having a rough day, and there was a magazine there. We have all kinds of great nursing journals. And there was a travel nurse thing. And so I ripped it out, and I filled it out, and I popped it in the mailbox on my walking out of the hospital that night on a Sunday night. And 2 days later, the company called me, and I was like,
Wait, what? That was
"Who
for
is
real?
this?" Yeah, I was like, I was mad that day. I was just, having a bad day.
Right.
And they were
I'll
like,
show
"No,
them."
really, like, we are interested in you. Would you be interested?" And so I took my first assignment was to Louisville, Kentucky.
And that's you just go for a contract, right?
Yeah, just go
X
for a
amount of
3-month
time.
contract.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, Louisville's close. If I hate it, I can come home on weekends.
Right.
So
Worst case scenarios, for a couple months.
for a couple
it
months,
sucks.
I'm out. Right.
Yeah.
So, and St. Mary's would probably take me back.
Now you're what? Early mid 20s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Married or any of that stuff?
No,
You bounced
not
on
married.
your own.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so I go to Louisville, and I think I was gone like 2 weeks, and I think my sisters were getting my mail and taking care of my plants. And I said, "Take whatever you want. I'm not coming back."
Oh.
And they were like, "What?" And I said, "At the end of this contract, I'm going to go on another one and another one." So,
Oh, you had made up your mind then.
I'd already made up my mind.
Oh, because it is worst case scenarios. I'm somewhere new, and if it's terrible, it's only going to be a couple
It's a
months.
12-hour shift. How
Right.
bad can it be today for 12 hours?
Now,
and tomorrow will be better.
Right, I get it. Yeah, you're right. And it's a great
every
way to look at it,
single
too.
day, well, I have chronic happiness.
Good
That's
for
my-
you. I wish that was contagious.
Well,
Well,
stick
it is.
around.
You're
stick
right.
around.
No, you're right. It is.
It
You're right.
really is.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
they like it or not, it usually is.
Fair. Yeah.
So, I just made the decision, and then I started choosing places that I wanted to be. Like, I would love to be in Washington, D.C. for the fall. I would love to be in Florida for the winter. I would love to be out
So after you
west.
got a taste, you're going
I
a
am
couple months in,
road
I'm
tripping.
shopping.
Yeah, I'm road tripping. Like, where else can I go? What else can I do?
And is it once you're kind of is it like a circuit? Like once you're in, now it's like, well,
Yes.
what do you want to do?
a lot different back then because we didn't have what they call contract or compact licensure where you could get online and just make sure somebody really is a nurse in
Sure.
another state and say, "Come on, work for us." It
Right.
was a huge, I would get one place and I would start looking for the next place because you only have 3 months,
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
or
And everything isn't instant. So,
back then, nothing. And this is always the kicker. Can you imagine in the late 90s, early 2000s, before cell phones, telling one of your kids with their Rand McNally Atlas,
Yeah.
"All right, Dad,
Here's where we're going."
I'm going to Florida. I'll call you when I get there." My dad had, by the time I finished traveling, he had almost no hair.
Oh,
Because
he
I
was
can
just-
only imagine,
Oh, yeah.
right? The stress. I mean, Nathan could barely go to the grocery store without us texting and saying, "Did you make it to the store okay?"
So it seems like a brave move for a young lady to go. Did it feel that way? Or you're like, I don't know. My dad thought it was, but I thought it was just me.
I think Dad raised us to be that way.
Yeah.
Really, truly. I guess I I was never scared.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was smart. I remember driving back.
I mean, you were conscious of knowing I
absolutely.
am a chick here.
I'm a girl.
Right.
Out here on the highway by myself every night.
That's what I'm saying.
And I worked nights, and so typically when I ended my contract, I would sleep during the day, and then I would drive all night because there's no traffic at night.
Right.
And so I remember I was in D.C., I was going to go to Florida, and my mom said, "Please come home before you go to Florida." And I'm like, God, it is so out of the way. All right. I mean, they haven't seen me for 3 months. So I'm
Right.
like, all right, I'll do it.
pop in.
So I hit Western Pennsylvania and a snowstorm, and it's 2:00 in the morning, and all that's out is a snowplow. Well, I already know. One thing I didn't do was stop by myself at a rest stop in the middle of the night because
Okay.
I'm not an idiot.
Right.
Even back then.
Yeah. Those were
so
really creepy back
they
then. I
were
felt like,
super
or we just
creepy.
thought
They're
that.
still super creepy. I don't know about
Yeah,
you,
they are.
but
Yeah,
they're
they
still
are.
super
Yeah.
creepy. So I remember this snowplow, and he's just going, and I am in a Dodge Shadow convertible.
Okay.
And it's wintertime.
Sure.
And those things
Seasonal
back in
car.
the day, it was chilly. And I really had to stop. But I was like, no. And I feel like the guy was like, man, this chick's been back there for a long time.
Right.
I bet she'd really appreciate me pulling into this rest stop up here. So he did. He swung off, pulled into the rest stop,
And just
put
chilled?
flashers on. I got out. I ran in, filled my water bottle, went to the bathroom, came running back out. He gave me a wave, turned his flashers off, and got back on the
Oh,
interstate.
that's cool.
I was like, dude.
Same page, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
know?
cool.
So
Yeah.
I feel like there are, some guardian angels out
Sure.
there.
Yeah.
But I honestly.
And they're needed sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There are nice people in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You just got to
Oh, yeah.
look for them.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I had all kinds of adventures.
Yeah. So, how long were you a contract nurse?
Well, until.
Is it like when you finally land somewhere you really like, you go,
Yes.
yep, done?
So, 1999, I ended up in Houston.
Okay.
And it was a trauma ICU. And I'm a cardiac nurse. When you
Okay.
talk about your dad with hearts and.
Yeah.
All that. That's all my
That's
thing.
your stuff.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
But you want to learn.
Mhm.
That's another thing about me is I'm a lifelong learner. I'm like soaking it up all the time. What else can I do? What else can I do?
Right.
And I was scared, honestly. I'd never been scared to take an assignment, but this was at the #1 trauma center in the state of Texas.
It's a big state,
in
too.
the Texas Medical Center. It was like a huge deal. I was like, okay, I'll try, right? And they were like, we'll teach you everything you know. Like, all the other stuff. We'll teach you
What you need to know
halos
for this, we got you.
This and this. And I was like, okay. And it was great. I loved
Okay.
it. I ended up, they renewed my contract twice. So I was there for a year.
Oh.
And they were like, okay, you got to take a real job or leave because we can't
Right.
just keep doing the contract thing. So I said yes, and I stayed
Okay. How long?
until I moved back last August.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Oh, you stayed for 20 years.
I stayed
20
for a
some
little
years.
over 26. Yeah, just a tad bit over 26 years.
Oh, yeah,
So,
you liked
yes,
it.
I loved it. There is nothing like being in the mecca of healthcare, and that's what I consider it. There are
Yeah.
10 huge hospital systems that have all kinds of specialties within about a mile and a half. Not kidding.
Oh, it's
Like,
just
if
a huge medical
it's a
campus.
Huge medical center, from cancer to heart to trauma to women's services to pediatrics. I mean, you name it. There's everything.
Specialty everything.
Everything. And when I was at Herman, Memorial Herman is where I was in the trauma ICU. They were like, hey, we have this manager job. And I'm like, they were like, oh, come on, everybody likes you. It'll be great. I'm like, I don't, And honestly, in my career, I had some, I don't want to say they were bad leaders. I think they meant well, but they didn't get any really good training because we're kind of a C1, do one, teach one.
Right. I was actually going to ask that.
Yeah,
Is everyone
that's
kind of like
the way it
I
used
don't
to be.
I don't need to shine in this room. I need everyone to know what they're doing so we
Absolutely.
can finish and
Absolutely.
successfully.
C1, do one, teach one
Gotcha.
was our MO. And so I had great leaders that meant well, but did not get any type of leadership training.
Right.
So
They just had the gig.
Yeah, they have
Right.
the gig, and they pay you well, but you're on call, and it's 24/7, and it's your life essentially. And so I did try, and I was like, listen, and I do like being in charge. I like being in charge, but I want to have skills. I want to have people skills. I want to have business skills, right? So UTMB
Dealing with people isn't easy. I mean, but
Yeah.
just different personalities are really, really tough.
Yes.
Sometimes to even mesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and you think about what our jobs are as nurses. We're taking care of people at their worst. And so now I have to take care of the person that takes care of that.
Right.
And that
Right.
is really difficult because not only are they taking care of this, they have all this other stuff happening outside
Right.
at home, right?
Right. Life.
Life is happening.
Yeah.
And we say don't bring it to work, right? You try to keep it.
Right.
You try to keep it from work, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, UTMB had a master's in nursing leadership, not nursing administration, which I had no interest in, running a hospital or anything like that. So I got a master's degree in nursing leadership, and I was really interested in leadership development at that time. And so started looking around. I have this new master's degree, and where I was working there, like we don't want to lose you, but we really don't have anything that's going to keep you. You know what I mean? Because they could just tell. Like I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? Right? Being a director wasn't enough. I said I want to teach this stuff. I want to, And so another.
But teach what?
So leadership skills.
Oh.
Like how to deal with people, how to have a crucial
Oh, you
conversation.
want to teach other people in leadership
Yes.
positions because you noticed that was lacking.
Because, oh my word, yes.
Okay. You experienced it.
I
So you're going,
experienced
okay.
it. And I had some leadership that was good experience for me, what to do and what definitely not to do again, right? And so
Yeah.
then once I earned the degree, then I wanted to develop classes. And so,
Hey, everybody, I want to take a quick second to let you know that the Beyond Business Studio swag store is officially open. Click the link in the description or scan this QR code to get your apparel game on point and rep Beyond Business. We got hats, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, and everything else. Several logos to choose from. Scan and customize yours today. I also want to shout out the partners who help make Beyond Business possible. First up is Dubby Energy Drink. If you're grinding, creating, training, or just need clean energy without the crash, Dubby is my go-to. No sugar, no spikes, no nonsense, just focus, endurance, and clarity. Head over to dubby.gg and use code BeyondBiz at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's BeyondBiz. Support the show and fuel the hustle at the same time. Oakwood Screen Printing. These gals are the real deal when it comes to custom apparel. Direct to film, silk screening, embroidering, heat transferring, you name it, they do it. And they don't just put it on clothing, they put it on anything. Whether you're in need of a small custom run or a massive order, Oakwood Screen Printing handles it all. Fast, professional, and top-tier quality. If you've got a brand, a business, a team, or an idea, they'll bring it to life. Check them out at oakwoodscreenprinting.com. And finally, Midwest Lightning Rods, protecting homes, businesses, and critical infrastructures from lightning strikes across the Midwest. This isn't just another contractor, this is decades of experience, code-compliant systems, and real protection where it matters most. When lightning strikes, preparation makes the difference. Learn about how you can become part of the community that's been protected by MLR at lightningstrikes-weprotect.com. As always, when you support these companies, you're supporting Beyond Business. If you haven't done it yet, I urge you to hit that subscribe button right below this post and follow the Beyond Business page on all your social media platforms that you follow. Now, let's dive back into it.
another place hired me to do a leadership track, and I, like, from the bedside
Like a program
teachers, to the charge nurses who are in charge of all the nurses on the unit during a shift, to the house supervisors, to the middleman. I mean, all the way up. I mean, the execs, they were great. They didn't need anything, but they were so far from, from the people that were doing the frontline work.
Right.
So I did that, and I got a postmaster's in education because I didn't feel like I really had credibility to teach. And they were like,
All right. So when did you stop being a nurse?
I'm still a nurse.
Or, okay, when did you stop? When did your job stop being
when did I
that
stop
of a
taking
nurse?
care of patients?
Sure.
I would say that was probably about 10 years ago.
And that's when the shift went into the educating?
No, actually, I did education and, well, listen.
Oh, you were doing these things at the same time?
Simultaneously, yes.
Oh, golly.
It was fun, though.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing about education. We're always educators.
Right.
From the very first time that nurse gave your dad direction on a medication.
Sure.
Like, we are trained to be educators. And some of us want to step away and do it. And then during the pandemic.
So you're teaching how to deal with you guys know, you nurses know what you're doing as far as the part of your job, the medical part. I'm teaching you how to do the rest of it.
Some of it.
Dealing with.
Yeah, some of it.
Okay.
Well, see, the leaders, if they are managers or supervisors, they're typically not doing patient care anymore. They're
just overseeing.
They're just overseeing, right?
Right.
They're doing schedules and budgets and taking care of issues, sometimes patient issues, sometimes staff issues, right? And people are still people.
Sure.
I mean, there are still people that we work with that we don't like.
Yeah.
Because they're pains in the butt.
Right.
I mean, they're here for a job.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's just stay on them and they will work themselves out.
Yeah.
Because if I tell you you're not going to act like that here and I stick to it, you will eventually quit.
Right.
Because I'm right.
You're either going to quit acting like it or quit the job.
I'm like, we either perpetuate the behavior or we stop it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a choice,
Sure.
And so that's basically, I mean, I'm really nice until I'm not.
I get it. That's kind of, I think in a leadership role, that's required too.
It is. But I think sometimes people are like, well, I don't know. No.
Right.
And
These aren't suggestions.
These are not suggestions.
Right.
And a lot of things are pretty black and white.
Sure.
And I am more gray than I have ever been.
Right. Well, and I think what would be interesting is you're getting in. So you're implementing programs it's not like all new nurses. Like I think the hard part would be going, you have someone who's like, I've been a nurse for 15 years and I'm great at it. It's like, well, are you?
Right. Well, so.
Some people wouldn't take that very.
Well, that's true. And that's part of the job. It's like I have to, some of it is correction.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're sending you to a class
or, hey,
because
our
you need
fault.
it.
We'll take responsibility for not training you correctly.
That is right.
But we're training you now.
We are training you now.
Yeah.
And so.
Do you blame your, I don't know, the shitty examples or leadership or whatever that you had? Do you blame that on just they had the job, they didn't get offered any training? It was just.
We don't even know what we don't know.
Right.
We
you
really
just
don't.
saw it and realized it and goes, okay, well, we need to know.
Yeah, because I'm like, well.
It's a pretty big thing going on here for this to be.
And healthcare is a business. Like, there's no doubt about that now. Yeah. And so, especially, I hate to even talk about COVID because that has totally changed everything. But during COVID, when I had to, I want to tell you first, though. So the leadership thing, what happened when I was teaching these leadership things, and then I was a director of education, which truly love. That's one of my passions. And I've had two really good mentors, and one of them was a director of education. But the girl who ran the program, like I do now, she went on maternity leave. And I had to take it over. And I was like, new grad nurses, like I never wanted to teach nursing school. I didn't mind having students. I was an ICU nurse for 17 years. Okay. So, I'm great with having a student, but you just do what I tell you.
Right.
Don't touch it.
This is how you learn.
This is how you learn, right?
Right.
3 months into her maternity leave, she comes back, and she's like, okay. And I'm like, I don't want to give it back to you.
Yeah, I like it now.
I loved it. I don't know. There was some sort of switch in my brain. It was like after all the leadership training, and I was like, these young new nurses, they need a person that knows what it's like out there, but also knows what they need, because they don't even know what they need, right?
They're coming in with a bunch of veterans or whatever, experienced people, right?
Sometimes.
So, I mean,
I have 35
to the wolves, kind of?
new. Yeah,
right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
We used to say we eat our young.
Oh, yeah,
we don't do that anymore.
No.
That's how it used to be. Honestly, when I was a new nurse, I had Suzanne. I feel like she had her arm around me all the time, and she was like, "You be nice to her."
Right.
You're not going to treat her like we treat some of these nurses.
Oh, yeah.
And then you learn to survive,
sure.
Right? And again, at the end of the day, I'm nice. And niceness gets you a lot farther than not being nice or trying to be, hard to get along with. But the new grad nurses, I think the nicest thing anyone ever said to me was, you're like our emotional support person. What?
Okay.
How is that?
All right.
Because I don't, I have responsibility. At the end of this month, I have 35 nurses that just graduated in December that will get a brand new shiny license and will come into the world
right.
as new nurses. And so we have to give them everything they need, all the skills, all the training, teach them how to be critical thinkers, on and on and on. So
that's stuff that you don't learn in nursing school.
That's correct.
Okay.
So when I meet them, I tell them, I don't sign your paycheck. I don't tell you can go on vacation or not. But I am completely neutral. So if there's something going on, you're not getting along with somebody, you don't know who to talk to, you're having a hard day with the patient, text me.
Right.
Call me. Let's talk it out.
Right.
And last week and I'm new to the system here. I've only been here since August.
What, you're doing it still?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Oh.
I'm the residency coordinator. So that's what I'm doing now is I am supporting these brand new grad nurses.
Oh, so you took a job up here.
Yes.
And you're like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. So.
What the hell for? I mean, you came back. It still sucks.
Well,
Sorry. No, we love Decatur.
Hey,
never mind.
Time out. Let's just stop. I'll tell you what happened. And I'm going to talk about her, Terry. She knows. And everybody knows, so it's not like it's a secret. So.
I shouldn't have said it sucks, but compared to Houston, it seems like it sucks.
Yeah, but you know what?
Sure.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I came back almost a year ago in February for my birthday.
Okay.
And somebody asked me, we were sitting at the table, and somebody said, would you ever move back to Decatur? And I think I used a swear word and said no.
Yeah.
I mean, not a terrible swear word, but a swear word. And they all laughed, ha, 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 right? And then 2 weeks later, my sister calls me and tells me she's been diagnosed with breast cancer.
I remember this part of the conversation we had originally.
And I am like, you know what? Like, I came home for all the bad things with my parents, but I wasn't even here when they died. That's terrible. I'm the nurse. I'm supposed to come home and take care of people, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I told her, so now the ICU nurse brain kicks in. And I'm like, all right, I need you to schedule the appointments. I need them all to be together. We need to do this,
so you're not saying not only could I help take care of you, but I know better than anybody you're going to go talk to about what's going on.
Well,
kind of. I mean, educated.
You need an advocate.
Sure.
Every patient needs an advocate.
Yeah.
And when I meet my new grad nurses, I tell them, listen, you are automatically the expert in your family, whether you want to be or not.
For sure.
So now you have a huge responsibility, whether you want it or not. And so you have to decide how you're going to do that.
Yeah.
So with Terry, I said, I need you to try to get your appointments together. I'll talk to my people here. My bosses in Texas, Melanie and Rochelle, amazing. And they said, you go and take care of your sister. We're nurses. Of course we're going to support each other.
Right.
Right. So we came up here. I came up here for a few days. We did the appointments. We have a plan. I meet all the doctors. My brother-in-law's like, talk to her. I remember going to the appointment with the surgeon, and there were three of us sitting there, my sister, my brother-in-law, and me. And the surgeon looks, and he says, who's the patient? And we all point to Terry. And he says, so you're the spouse? And he looks at me, and I love him now because, he's got the same kind of, that I do. And who are you? And I said, and my brother-in-law pipes up. She's our sister from Texas. She's an ICU nurse, and he's like, "Great, like here we go." Right? Like, and I'm just like, "No, I'm just not gonna let anything bad happen to my sister. That's all, right?"
Yeah.
So anyway, we get through all that and the surgery, and I mean, I was there. She had drains, the whole shebang. Great news. She's great.
All good.
All good. Yep. All good.
There you go. You saved her.
No, it was not me. It was
God, maybe.
God for sure. Yes, absolutely.
God puts things in place.
So here's the funny thing that you say about that. So here we are. I have spent more time in Decatur from February to May last year than I had in 5 years. And I was like, oh, I'm loving this. Like, we're going to Taco Tuesday. Like, my aunts and uncles, we're all around. My godmothers.
The small community thing that you forgot you missed.
That I totally forgot that I had these people. Oh, yeah. Not forgotten, for sure.
No, I know, yeah.
So, anyway, so long story short, I don't know. I just did this, search on the internet, and this job that I'm doing down there and that I love and had no intention of leaving
is available here. And I do this web interview with the CNO Jen. She's phenomenal. I love her, and she's so genuine and so man, we would really love to meet you. Is there any possible way? And I was like, well, because now that I have this reconnection, there's actually a birthday party for the great nephew, and so sure,
I guess while I'm driving past from St. Louis to Decatur, I'll just swing by and meet everybody. So I did. And I was there for 3 hours.
That was in Springfield?
And that was in Springfield, yeah. So they offer me a job, and now I'm like, all right. So I tell the family, guess what? They offered me a job. And they were all like,
hopefully you meant it when you said you missed me.
Yeah. Oh, they were showing the love, for sure, because I'm back, right? So now it's like, okay, my sister and brother-in-law are like, well, you could live with us until we find you a place and blah, blah, blah. So we're beating the streets on Zillow and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, one Friday morning, I get on Zillow and there's this house, and I'm like, and my sister, she's great. She's like, we're going to go do walkthroughs. We're going to, FaceTime you and you can decide. And so by Sunday, I said yes. So now, after, months and months and months of coming to Decatur, I have a job, I have a place to live.
Yeah.
And so now I have to tell them in Texas that I'm leaving. And I'm like,
because when you left to go take care of your sister, I was leaving. You were just going to take care of your sister and then coming back.
My sister.
Yeah.
So I was back down there, and I was like, so.
You're like, now I miss it again.
So they were like,
What?
What?
Yeah.
What happened? And I said, God happened.
Right.
God's plan is always bigger than mine. It doesn't matter what I think I've got going on.
Is that where you think? Is that where you lie? Is it's like things because it does seem like there's been several things, like positions you fell into that you go, didn't really want to do this, and then it worked out great. Wasn't comfortable with this, worked out
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that niceness works.
Sometimes.
You're like, there was them 3 mean times I paid for.
Yeah,
no.
for sure. See, those times when I tried to do it my way, right? That fell flat out, right?
So when you're in Texas for all these years, do you end up, well, I know the answer, but you end up with a husband, you end up with something going on, or obviously you're not solo forever down there.
That is correct. Yes, I did meet a very nice man.
In the medical field?
No.
Oh, good.
He was actually a park ranger
there you go.
at one of the state parks when I met him. And I think that's where he was working then. And he had at that time, a 9-year-old son. And it was interesting too, because up to that point, I intentionally didn't date people with kids because I get so attached, and it's like, if it doesn't work out,
I still got to come see your kid, bro. Even though we don't like each other.
Even though we don't like each other anymore. So I'm like, I don't want to meet the kids. I mean, I dated a guy in Houston for like 2.5 years that had a 6-year-old daughter, and he was like, I'm like, girls are mama's girls. There's no way, because you and I break up, I would,
right.
That's not going to work. So anyway, so we dated 2 years, and they asked me to marry them, and I said yes. And so,
how cool! Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
At the Olive Garden.
There you go. Got to keep it fancy Italian.
Nathan could still tell you how they asked me to marry them.
Oh, that's cool. I was confused when you first said that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was pretty cute. It was fun, and we had fun. I mean, we had a blast. My dad taught me how to hunt and fish.
Okay.
I mean, I have a 9mm that I bought myself for my birthday.
Oh, you was doing Texas down there.
I am that girl, right? And so we camp on the beach. He's now 11 when we get married, and he plays baseball. So we're doing baseball tournaments all over the South, and we'll go to a tournament if we can fish and or camp.
Hell yeah!
So we had a blast, and I grew up, freshwater fishing because it's Illinois, right? And so the very first time I wade fished, I'm going to tell you the story. He'll never see it. Anyway, so we'd been out on a couple of dates, and he's like, do you fish? I'm like, absolutely. And he's like, have you ever been in the ocean? And I'm like, what do you mean? So he's like, well, I'm going to take you fishing this weekend, and I need you to wear shoes that you can get wet. And I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Sounds easy enough.
Sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
So he picks me up at like dawn, and we drive down to Galveston to West Bay, and we drive out to this point, and he's like, you see that little island out there? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, we're going to walk to it. And I'm like, how deep's the water? And he's like, waist deep, maybe chest deep at the most. Okay.
What's it got to do with fishing?
Well,
sounds like we're doing a water hike.
So here, my thing now is I'm like, did I tell anybody I was coming today? Does anybody know where I am? What if something happens to me, right?
Something seems like it could happen today.
Something seems like it could happen. So I know now that it was low tide. So we
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He totally knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Shuffle our feet. We get out there. The tide comes in. I'm throwing a spinner bait. Man, I caught like a redfish, like a 17-inch red.
Oh, you were killing it?
Killing it.
Oh, nice.
And just unbelievably having so much fun. And like, you know what? I can't wait to tell my dad. I can't wait to tell my dad that I'm catching all these fish. It's going to be so great.
Yeah.
So we're fishing. And it was double tide day. So that means the tide goes out, comes in, and that's a good day to fish.
Okay.
Because the low tide in the middle is really quick.
Gotcha.
So he's like, and now it's getting to be like noon, and we had donuts and chocolate milk. That was our breakfast. And now we're both starving, and we've got rod holders out. We've got, and I'm like wading up and down that oyster reef, which I now know it's not an island. It was actually an oyster reef. We're out there on all these oyster shells, right? So I'm wading up and down it like I own it, casting, catching fish, but I'm starving.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I said, listen, give me your keys. I said, I'm going to walk, Wade, back to the truck, and we passed a Walmart. I'm going to go get us some food. because neither one of us wanted to leave. We're catching fish.
Right.
And the tide's getting ready to come back in.
You're going,
right?
picnic, I'll be back.
I'll be back. And he was very trusting, though, because he's like, we've been out a few times. Do I
Right.
give her the keys to my truck?
Right.
Is she really going to come back, right? So
That's
I
funny.
felt like that was a leap of faith on his part, right?
Sure,
So
yeah.
I did. I bought a cooler. I bought some fish. I bought
You did just send me walking across the ocean by myself, for the record.
And I'll tell you.
He's like, I just don't know if she can hold my keys. That's what I'm worried.
I know, he's like, don't lose the keys. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And so I do. I go to Walmart. I get his food. I get his water. I get his beer. And here I come. Now the tide's coming back in. So now I'm a little nervous because the water.
And you're like trying to carry a cooler out there or whatever.
So I'm floating on it. And I come and I get all the way back out there. And he pulled it. He looked at me and he goes, will you marry me? And I said, no, but I'll go fishing with you again. It was the best day.
He's like, you made it.
We had so
You
much
made
fun.
it.
So needless to say, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to have a good time.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well,
so
that's
we did.
cool.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
We had a really good time.
And so, can we talk about that young man who you...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, he does do his own interviews, though. But
Sure.
we could talk about him.
Sure.
For sure.
Sure. Yeah, I'd say he probably does his own interviews.
He's much better at it
So
than I am,
the young man that you guys were camping and fishing to watch play travel ball now plays for the Texas Rangers.
That is correct. Yes.
Nathan
Nathan Eovaldi, yes.
pitches.
He's a pitcher.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a remarkable young man.
Yeah.
He really is.
How cool is that to know how many, every single person he ever competed with had the same dream at one point. We
Sure.
all did.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? To see someone live it, it's just got to be like,
I know people sometimes say to me, did you ever really think that he was going to be a professional baseball player? And I'm like, yeah,
really?
of course.
Okay.
You got to see the commitment
Sure.
and the dedication.
Yeah.
Like, he'd come home from school and a bucket of balls and a bat.
Oh, he knew what he wanted
He
to
knew.
do.
And they'd be in the truck and and I'd go shag balls,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But every single day, he never complained about it.
Wanted to get better.
Wanted to get better. And then in junior high, you know, they start pitching in junior high. And he just got better and better and better. And so, you know, we were on a couple travel teams. Then when he got to high school, down south, baseball is really serious. Football is serious and baseball is serious. So you pick one.
Right.
You don't do both.
Yeah.
And so he chose baseball.
Because you play year round. You're playing
Year-round.
baseball year round.
Year-round.
Yeah.
And football camps and all
Yeah.
that stuff is year-round,
Yeah.
too. So baseball is year-round. And so, yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of traveling, and he just loved it. And then at the end of his junior year, they were in the state playoffs, I think, and we were at the game, and I remember my dad was there, and he had a twinge in his elbow. And so pulled him in, and he needed surgery. Tommy John.
Oh.
I know. As a junior in high school,
Oh.
going into senior year.
Usually
right?
that's a deal sealer right there, right?
So long story short, you know, we're in the surgeon's office and we got the MRI is up there, and, you know, I mean, I've been a nurse. His, you know, from
you're
all
like,
he's
they're
known
not
me,
lying.
I'm like, it is what it is. And, you know,
Them 10 million throws finally caught up with that elbow.
but he looked that surgeon in the eye, because the surgeon's like, you have two choices. We can just baby this and you can rest over the summer and you could probably pitch your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
But if we have this surgery, then you're not going to be able to play ball at all your senior year. And then you may not get to play ball after that. And he said, sir, I'm going to be a pitcher in the major leagues. Let's do the surgery. And the surgeon looked at us and we were both like, yeah, absolutely, if that's what he wants. I mean, this is
Let's go.
his life, right?
Yeah.
So we did. And he's just
He just did
beast.
did what he was supposed to do.
every
and
single day.
Yeah.
Everything he was supposed to do. If he wasn't, he had this thing on his arm, I don't even know, and you could only move it so many degrees. Incredible. The rest of his body, he was going to the gym. He was, you know, and at this time.
So you've seen the difference. I mean, I guess that's it. Is I just think about everyone has a dream, but you're like, this was someone who I seen firsthand chasing the dream.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Putting in the work
yeah.
every single day.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's remarkable. He really is. He's a beast. That's what I tell him all the time. I'm like, dude, you are a beast.
That's
And he's
cool.
big. He's big man.
Yeah.
You know? I tell him, you're a beast.
That's so
and
cool.
he's so humble.
Yeah.
And he is a man of faith. He leads his family, you know, with faith. And
I would think it would have to be humbling. I mean, I mean, I think a lot of professional athletes are like that because they do, no matter how much they thought it and how hard they tried, it's still
Yeah.
I mean, there's millions of collegiate athletes that won't go further.
True.
Let alone the hundreds of, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. And, he got drafted out of high school.
Oh.
So he was promised to...
he got drafted with just a surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, he hadn't played after a
Not
surgery.
much. I think he finally got to pitch in 1 or 2 games at the end of his senior year.
But he was locked in before that. They knew.
Like they knew.
They'd
been scouting.
Yeah.
Like there are a couple of the Dodgers scouts who would come to our house to see Nathan and to have my sopapilla cheesecake.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, Mama's going to take care of you.
Right,
You're going to come to
yes.
the house.
I'm going to make that cheesecake.
I'm going to make the cheesecake.
So what, where do you go to school?
Nathan.
Or no, he didn't go to school. Where did he get drafted to?
To the Dodgers.
Oh, LA, they weren't trying. They got him.
They got him, yeah.
How long was he there? Has he bounced around quite a bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's on, I think this is his 6th team.
Okay.
So he graduated from high school in 2008. He got called up. So, yeah, he was drafted in 2008, got called up in 2011. So he was in the farm league until then. And that was a great day, too. My friends and I drove. By this time, his dad and I were no longer together.
Okay.
So when he called me to tell me he got called up, I was like, what? And he's like, are you coming? And I'm like, darn right, I'm coming.
Hell yeah.
So this was a Friday morning at 7 o'clock, and he said, I'm pitching tomorrow at 3 o'clock in Phoenix. Are you coming? And I was like, yes. So my nephew, Dylan, my sister's only son, had just landed in Houston like literally the day before, was going to live with me for 3 months for the summer to figure out what he wanted to do, right? Aunt Marna, who's never said no to him his whole life.
Yeah.
Come stay with Aunt Marna and figure it out. So I called him. I said, hey, we're driving to Phoenix. And he's like, what? I just got here. I said, yeah, you're going to meet the girls. So 2 of my friends, the 4 of us, we got in the car at 9 o'clock that night and we drove all night.
Road tripped,
checked in the hotel, showered, went to will call, picked up our tickets. Now, didn't get to sit with, Dad.
Yeah.
And his wife, who was his high school sweetheart. But because I had served sopapilla cheesecake so many times.
Oh, you got the treatment?
I got really good seats right behind home plate.
Really? The green seats, baby.
So much fun. It was us and reporters.
Yes.
And we're all like,
okay.
Is this really where we're supposed to sit?
Okay. Yeah.
And then, my buddy, he texts me and he's like, how are your seats? Are they all right? Perfect. Thank you. I was like, are we good? And he's like, you're golden.
Yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
So it was really fun.
How cool.
So, Dodgers, let's see, I'm probably not in the right order, but the Marlins, Devil Rays. The day he got traded to the Yankees, I was in a meeting at work, and one of my buddies, who's a huge baseball fan in Austin, he texted me and he was like, holy shit, Nathan got traded to the Yankees, and he sent me the headlines from the New York Times. I'm in a meeting in Houston, and I'm like,
what?
I said out loud, what? And everybody looked at me, and I was like, hang on, I need a minute. And I stepped out, and I was like, and Nathan's like, I texted him, I'm like, hey, he's like, I know. And he's, and when they're in negotiations, they can't talk. They can't tell anybody anything. Right. So anyway.
Yeah, when it gets released is when they can say it.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's been, went to the World Series with Boston Red Sox. Oh, that was fun. Oh, my word. That was so much fun.
That's so cool.
That was great. And then, of course, in 2023 with the Rangers. So he's got 2 World Series rings.
Do you remember who Boston played?
Yeah.
Who?
The Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
Because I went to L.A.
All right.
It was fun.
That's so cool.
And it's so fun, too, because, I mean, I don't ever... I'm like, people who know me, and they know, right?
Uh-huh.
But to go somewhere and put my credit card in, and I guess my name came up, and it was like right after the game. I was at the airport. I was flying out, and I was getting the dog sitter a snow globe because she likes snow globe.
Right.
And I went, and the dude, the young, tall kid that was at the kiosk.
Oh, he sees the name.
He sees the name, and his eyes get really big, and he's like... And I just smiled. And I was like, yes, somebody noticed.
That is so
right?
cool. That is cool.
I'm leaving the World Series.
Yeah. You're like, I've been wearing his name on the back of my shirt since he was 9.
Since he was 9. Yeah. Still am wearing it.
That's great.
And now I'm wearing, my grandson, of course.
Yeah.
Is 11 and plays ball too.
His boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My granddaughter just turned 7 last Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I got
awesome.
8, 7, and 8. Yeah, it's funny when you said Olive Garden a minute ago. That's what the other day. My granddaughter's birthday is on January 2nd, and then I have a son that's 15. So I got a 28-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Oh wow!
And yeah, she has a 7 and 8, and I have him. He lives with his mom, and so I got a hold of my daughter, and I just said, "Well, we'll do her birthday whenever Mo's with me, And so he was with me this weekend, and I reach out, and I'm like, "Yeah, where do you want to go?" I suggest a few places, and it's like Olive Garden, and I'm like, "Oh God."
It's a 9-year-old boy's thing,
Yeah,
right?
what are we doing?
It was the chocolate lasagna dessert. That was Nathan's thing. Between the chicken Alfredo and the chocolate lasagna. He was a happy kid.
Yeah, it doesn't take much sometimes.
Doesn't take much.
I like Italian, but I don't know if that's what we call that. Yeah, the other day I said I haven't been here in like years, and I was like, not coming back.
Nope. I know there's a place. I have a good friend here who I went to high school with that his gigs take him up by Chicago, and he has this one place that always gives them like a 5-course meal, and he doesn't eat eggplant parmesan. But I do.
You're like,
so
let me
he
get
brings
that.
this big slab of eggplant back, and it's so good. I think Marciano's maybe. I don't know. Someplace, probably Oak Lawn or Oak Brook, someplace like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really good, though. I highly recommend it.
So how long will you, are you on a contract now, or you
Nope.
work for?
Nope. This is my retirement job.
And your job, and when's that going to happen? Whenever you get sick of it?
Whenever I get tired of it.
Yeah. Do you have anything in mind as far as that? Is you're like, well, I don't not like what I'm doing yet.
I love what I'm doing.
Right.
They pay me well because I have a lot of experience and I love it. And they pay me to go on vacation. So, when you retire, that's on you.
Yes.
But as long as you're working.
Oh, you're saying, I get X amount of time I get paid to go sit somewhere.
Me to go on vacation. I just came back from South America. So
what'd you do there?
It's fantastic.
Or what takes you there?
It was my 5th continent.
Oh, shit. You're traveling.
I'm traveling. I told you. My dad created a road warrior. Now my
that's
travel
not the road.
is just a little elevated. It's a little more elevated now than it used to be, right?
The road leads to the airport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I love it. I want to see things, do things.
You're like a travel friend? Do you go solo?
I have lots of travel friends.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So during the pandemic, remember when everything went like totally blank? You couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything.
Yes.
We had all these trips and stuff planned and everything just crashed, right? And so we couldn't travel, we couldn't go to the museum, and I belong to I love culture, symphony and art museums and all that kind of stuff because I'm like a giant sponge. I practice languages for an hour every morning. I get up at 4 in the morning and I practice. Right now I'm working on Hungarian.
Do you know some languages
I do.
fluently?
Yes.
What?
I speak French. I speak Spanish.
Okay.
My Portuguese is pretty good now because I've been to Spain, Portugal,
Okay.
and South America, Brazil. They speak Portuguese.
So did you work on something and then before you go?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So French, and we were going to go to the Seychelles, my friend Jill and I. I have a travel buddy named Jill, and she's like me, single, has a great job that we love, and they pay us to go on vacation. So we're always planning, a year in advance. And so we were going to go to the Seychelles, they were a French colony. It's off the coast of East Africa.
Okay.
In the Indian Ocean. And I read they were a French colony, and I'm like, oh, I bet it's going to be like going to New Orleans,
Right.
Where they've got some Creole.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love Jill. I'm the run, like, yes, let's do it. Like I was going to walk to Paraguay when we were in South America, and she's like, whoa.
Yeah, hold them up.
Girl, come back. Let's dot our I's and cross our T's. I'm like,
okay.
She's always right.
Sounds boring.
Yeah, makes me mad. But she's practical. She's my common sense.
Right.
And I
She's
love
required.
her for that. She's totally required because,
Right.
So we're going to go to Seychelles, and I said, I'm going to learn to speak French. And she's like, you do know they speak English. And I said, so what? How much fun will it be if I can speak to them? And they look at me like, well, let me tell you what, sister's been pretty glad.
Yeah.
We're in Portugal last year. We're in Lisbon.
Oh, it came in handy that you're...
Yeah. We get in, well, so we're on this tour in Spain. We're traveled through Spain, and we're on this coach, one of these really nice big, buses, essentially. Our coach driver is amazing. His name is Vitor. And he and your friends. I mean, I make friends.
Sure.
I mean, Jill says I don't have to talk to anybody because Marla will.
She'll handle that.
Marla handles it. Yeah. She calls me her PR. Marla's my PR, my marketing.
Gotcha.
I just say this is where we're going, and Marla takes care of it, which I'm happy to do. Right.
Right.
So I make friends with Vitor. I mean, you can't be in a hotel or be in a group with the same people for 10 days and not all go to the bar at night and order a beer.
Right,
so
right.
Vitor and I are sitting there one night and we're talking, and so I'm like slowly trying to practice my Portuguese on him, and he's grinning like, not bad.
I know what you meant.
I know what you meant, and I'm like throwing it out there every time I get off and on the bus now, because I'm feeling like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's like I've lived here forever.
Yeah. So, hey, I get it. So we get to Lisbon. I have friends from Northern Ireland, which we don't have that much time, but people I met traveling. Anyway, so we all travel together now. It is. Oh. Yeah, you're right. I got to tell you.
That is cool.
So Lisbon, we're meeting the girls from Northern Ireland, and so we're going to get in this taxi. And the taxi driver is not real happy because Taylor Swift is actually doing a concert in Lisbon that night.
Okay.
And so he's already tired of all these Swifties.
He's been running them.
He's not happy at all. And I'm trying to, and so
that girl sells some tickets too.
Yeah, she does. I mean, there were Americans who flew to Lisbon because they could get tickets cheaper there than buying them here in the States. Anyway, long story short, I am trying to talk to the cab driver, and he's just not having it. And so kiddingly, I text Vitor and say, I don't know, I'm trying really hard with this taxi driver, and he's not very nice. And he's like, what? He's like, you text me when you get to your destination. I have never been scared ever being in a taxi.
And you're like,
you are freaking Jill. And Jill's like, it's the look on my face because I'm not a poker player at all.
Right,
She's like,
you're scared.
What's happening? And I'm like, Vitor says we should get out of the taxi. And she's like, while it's moving? Yeah. And I'm like, no, I think we're going to. So we get there, we meet the girls, we're having a lovely dinner, we're having, sangria, the whole bit. And he texts me and he's like, okay, you let me know when you want to leave. I'm going to send you a driver.
Right. Sounds perfect.
So now we have a driver for 3 days.
Damn.
He won't take any money from us.
He's just driving.
He's just grateful. He says in Portuguese, I am grateful to be in the company of such lovely ladies.
Bam. Well, stick around then, fella.
And we just kept poking money in his, like he had this little thing. We were just poking money, and he was like, no. Anyway, so what I started to tell you earlier during the pandemic, when we couldn't go anywhere or do anything, we all started doing Zoom, right? So we had this art and culture group. So we created a thing on Wednesday night called Sip and Stitch. So if you had a hobby like crochet or needlepoint or whatever, but you wanted to have a cocktail with your friends, you got on from 5 to 7 and we chatted. It was fun. Yeah. So after a couple of weeks of that, one of the girls who was essentially our leader of the Go Place group, she said, I wonder if other people are doing this. And so she started doing research, like reaching out. So now we're finding people in New York and Chicago.
Oh, you're making friends.
We are making friends. Toronto, we're like on this game show thing in Toronto on a Zoom. And so one Saturday she texted me and she said, and our group leader, Kathleen, she was really stoic and she's not like me. She's like, I need you doing anything at 2:00? And I said, it's the pandemic. Where am I going? You know, she's like, I need you to get on this call for Belfast. And I'm like, Belfast, Texas? And she's like, Belfast, Northern Ireland. And I'm like, yes, this is going to be great, right? So we get on there and it's like Hollywood Squares. There's like,
yeah.
And, so this guy, Steve, he's like, hi. And I'm like, hey, y'all. And he's like, and they're all like, you can see on their faces, what you
the hell?
say?
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, where are you? And I'm like, Houston, Texas. And he's like, USA? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, and I'm like, hey, you let us in. It's your Zoom. I mean, so we're having a blast. We're like
Yeah.
what'd they say?
Right.
Kathleen and I, I'm like, what'd she say?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now we
yeah.
got to get Jill in on the mix. So the next Saturday, we get on the call with them again, right? So then Steve's saying, listen, ladies, this is the boring group. I need you to get on the Donna D group. That is our friend group who decided to Zoom because we couldn't go out every weekend like we're used to, right?
Uh-huh.
So now we start getting on the Donna D group. So for 2 years, every birthday, every holiday, New Year's, heck, I even hosted when Nathan opened, when Nathan was the starter for open the season. I think it was for the Rangers. No, it was for the Red Sox.
Okay.
I hosted it on Zoom, and they all watched it. And from Northern Ireland, they had never seen a baseball game in their lives, but they knew everything about Nathan, and they wanted to watch
became a
the
thing.
game. Became a thing. We did pantomime. I don't know if you know about
Pantomime. Yeah, I know what pantomime
Britain,
is.
where they make fun of
Yes.
nursery rhymes and things.
Yes.
And it's a play, and
Yeah.
it's pretty vulgar.
Yeah.
But we did all that with like makeup. I have pictures, Halloween parties. Anyway, I said, when this is over, I'm coming to Northern Ireland.
Coming to see you suckers.
I had never had any interest. I mean, I knew where it was, but that wasn't on my radar.
Right.
So we make this plan.
And Jill's down too?
Jill's down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jill's down. So the three of us, we have to fly. We fly to Ireland. They drive down. Steve drives down to get us, and I go, and they're almost like family now. I saw them more than I saw my grandkids.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
And so and it's so funny because Steve came to pick us up, and he's the very first guy that we met on that very first
The one
call.
that said, get on this other one?
Yeah, and we see this much of everybody.
Right.
So the guy, he's like 6'3". We're like, hey, Steve,
Yeah.
like we had no idea, dude, you were this big.
Yeah, we didn't know you could stand
he's a
up,
retired
though.
engineer.
Right.
Like we're like all these people, like all these things. And so he took us up there. They took such good care of us. Literally, we were there 10 days. Every day, we had a beautiful Airbnb right on the North Sea in Donegal. Every day somebody would pick us up and they would take us. Like we did
Go see
Belfast.
stuff.
They
do
took us
Ireland.
up. They took us up the North Coast. We took a train all the way to Derry, Londonderry. I mean, I have been to Bush Mills, which is now my favorite Irish whiskey because, you go.
Right.
1608, the very first distillery. Right?
Dang.
Yeah, so I've been there. So I've been to Giant's Causeway. I've been all of it, right? So I said, okay, we came here. You got to come to Texas. So 8 of them did.
Really?
Yep. The next summer, we planned it, and we did 3 nights in Houston, 3 nights in Galveston, and then we took them to the Hill Country for 5 days because I said, you cannot come to Texas and just come to Houston.
Right.
You just can't.
Texas ain't a big city.
It's not.
Yeah.
And the Hill Country is beautiful. If you've never been 8 hours west of Houston, you
missed it,
Texas. Huh? Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so then ever since then, at least once a year, we try to meet. Not everybody can always go
Sure.
because, of course, they have lives too.
Yeah.
Jill and I just did Rio de Janeiro, Iguazu Falls, and Buenos Aires, Argentina. And we invited them, and if you can come, if you can, if not. When my sister had her surgery last spring.
Oh, you just put it out there like, hey, we're got a
this is what
vacation
we're
planned
doing.
in 9 months.
Yep, this is what we're doing. You're welcome to come. So in the spring, I was supposed to go to the Canary Islands with the girls. And so Jill went because I told her, you got to go.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't go. Right?
So I couldn't go, but I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah.
So in September of this year, because it's January, yay, we're going to Budapest for a day, for a week.
That's what's up next, huh?
That's what's up next. So I'm learning Hungarian, which is, it's hard. It's really hard.
You just need to get the Meta AI glasses. So I have the Metas. I have them, and I did it. I got you familiar with Rocco's bar right next to Friendly?
Yes.
So I was sitting in there, and a lady who owns the place downtown, I think the name of it is Tacos and Beer. I think that's the name of the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the lady who owns it and her waitress, they come into Rocco's. I find out who they are later. I just seen them come in, and I was like, they are Mexicans. I need them.
Right? Yes.
I need to try something. So I went over and I said, hey, I want to try something. Let me turn this thing on and just talk to me.
Sure.
Wow. I mean, there wasn't even really a pause so I could finish listening. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was blowing me away. I'm like, no, keep talking, but I can't reply.
Yes.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, It's as far as we go unless you get some of these glasses.
That's cool.
But it was really neat. It was
Yeah.
like right on as they talk, it translates. It's partially like audible translation, but it's like if you look at their mouth, then it will get it exactly right. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I
Yeah.
want to try.
Yeah.
I always want
Oh,
to try
yeah.
because I feel like when you go to a foreign country, you get creds for trying.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the taxi driver, he was having a rough day.
Yeah.
But even in Spain, when we me and that guy, we got along great. In fact, Jill's like, he's like working on his English and you're working on your Spanish.
Perfect,
It was
yeah.
like a beautiful
Yeah.
thing, right? And I did have fun in Seychelles because I could read signs. And I told Jill too, we were out one night and I said, they're talking about us. And she's like, they are not. And I go, yeah, well, you won't know, will you?
Yeah, right.
She was like, are they really? I'm like, no, I'm just messing with you.
So I wore my Metas and to get a pedicure, and they said it. He has the glasses on,
They did?
and then they didn't talk the rest of the time.
What? So they could tell.
They knew. Well, I mean, if I see them, I know them.
Okay, see, I don't know that I would know them. I'm
I
gonna
only
Google
know them because
now.
I have them. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Well, I'm
And-
Googling that
yeah.
now because now I want to know.
Yeah, and it was like, I guess, and even on me, like, I could pick a better frame. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, I have better frames,
Yeah.
and these are kind of clunky, or they just look like the regular old glasses.
Right.
I mean,
Like
that's what
the
they
black
look.
frames.
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Clark Kent's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, it does. It is almost like. I mean, I've had several people just be like, "Why you got them fucking glasses on?" And I'm like, "I always got glasses on." And they're like, "Yeah, them are. Oh, you got them damn." Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, that's cool.
I use AI. I'm very into it.
I love it.
That's where it's
I
at.
use it in the grocery store. I'm like, there's two products.
Yep.
I cannot. I mean, I get it. I get reviews. I don't know that I trust all of them.
Sure.
I'm not going to take the time to read them.
No.
I have a cousin who will read 900 reviews before she makes a
Right.
decision. By the time you decide, I don't even want that thing anymore.
Right. I already
just
got it
don't.
and it broke.
And I'm, yeah. And I'm sending it back. So don't
Yeah,
buy
it's
it,
fine.
Right?
Right.
So, but I will say, hey, I'm looking at these two products. Which one has a better rating?
Yep.
And like which one, and
Yeah.
and it's fair,
Yeah.
because it's truthful. They say this is said about this, and this is said about this, and this is the price for this, and this price for that. I'm like, okay, and
Yeah.
I love it, and it helps me. I have worked with literally hundreds of new nurses who are now, moving on in their career, and they want letters of recommendation to go back to school, which
Bam.
love.
But yeah, how perfect is it to be able to
and so
have a
I
perfect
can
email?
say, because it's really hard. I don't want to give away all the secrets, but you really want to target your letter to the job that they're trying to get.
Sure.
And to really be honest about their qualifications. I don't want to just say they're great employees.
Yeah.
And nursing is really hard. So if I know that you worked on a unit where you really had to have really good critical thinking skills and you had to be, quick on your feet, like the ER and the labor and delivery, those are places that you just never know what's going to come through the door.
Oh, so you want to put that
You gotta
specifically
be-
in there?
You
Yeah.
want to be very, and so AI, ChatGPT, and me. I mean, I've
Yes.
got, I got a letter for this, a letter for this,
Yeah.
a letter for this. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Use it all the time.
I have a couple businesses, and one of them's contracting, and I like shoot from the hip a lot. It's not a great quality. Sometimes it's great. It has served me well, but also it is like, you don't have to talk to people like that. Or came
Sure.
across how I talked to text it or transcribed it.
Yeah.
I said what I meant, but that didn't sound good.
Sure.
I talk like that too, actually.
So that's a leadership thing.
Yes.
Because I would tell my new managers, look, it's not what you said, it's how you said it.
For sure.
Like,
So ChatGPT is now my savior. Like I literally, even if it's pretty short, like if I have anything that I'm touching on that I disagree with or I'm challenging, I will put it through that first.
that's good.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, here's what they sent me. Here's what I'm trying to say.
That's great.
Figure this out. Make me not sound like a dick. And it's like,
Yeah.
I got you.
One of my friends, ChatGPT helped her write a breakup letter.
Ooh.
Yeah, and but she was really good too, because she was like, these are the reasons,
Yeah.
and this is what
It's
and so
not
it was
you, it's
really
me.
formal. It was really formal at first, and she was like,
wait a minute, right?
And it even said, hey, I can add a little more sentiment.
Yeah.
Or I can be a little bit.
Tell me what you want.
What do you want? And so she's like, tweak this, tweak that. And I read all the iterations, and I was just like,
good
geez,
stuff.
man, like I wish I had somebody
Feel like
to
I got broke up with.
This is great. Like,
so I was looking at it, and it was like the first 3 months, like March of 2000 or April of 2025, from Chat GPT. I think it was whatever it was like a 4-month thing. What was Chat GPT used for the most? And it was like therapy.
yeah, I
Great.
believe that.
It's crazy.
Why not? Yeah.
And that was it. It didn't make sense. Like I compare it, even when I talk to other business owners who I cannot believe are slacking on this. Like it's crazy. If I had the time, I might still do it actually. I wanted to launch a company that was an AI prompting company for everybody who is going to not do what they're supposed to do. And in a year or less, they're going to be way behind the ball.
Yes.
And it's going to move that fast.
Right.
You know what I mean? To where at the end of the day, it's going to be people who are still too busy to figure this shit out or whatever. Now that they have seen that it is a thing, it's still going to be, there's going to have to be a middleman to make.
Yeah.
You still have to know how to prompt no matter
Absolutely.
what. So
well, think about the chatbots.
yes.
For years, we've been using them on
Yes.
websites and not even knowing that we weren't
Yes.
really talking to a person.
Right.
Like not even knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, now it just annoys me because
sure.
Because now I'm like, look,
But dude,
just give me the drop down and let me choose.
If someone messages, like this blew me. I didn't even. Maybe I just turned something on or something. But so if someone messages my, I think the Beyond Business like Facebook page, it won't reply back auto, but it types out an auto reply for me to agree to or not. And it's like, holy shit, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I would have been like, what do you need? You know?
Right.
Yeah. But it's like, it already has it. And I'm like, okay, well.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I think in the description was if you're it doesn't matter what you're in life, what business you're in life, or what stage you're in life. If you have the opportunity to have a personal assistant with a PhD in everything, then who's the dumbass for not taking that? You know what I mean?
Right. Now, granted, even in residency, I've had my nurses do research, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you tell it what you want. I don't want you to just, I don't want to Google
Right.
whether or not I should be using this product or that product on my patient. I want 3 peer-reviewed articles
Yeah.
with references from peer-reviewed nursing journals.
Yep.
It gives me like 6.
Yep.
And now I can go read those research articles and decide, is this something that I can use for my
I
project?
see that. I don't ever reference
Yeah.
them, but I see on a lot of the things that
Yes.
I'll look up, it'll give references
Absolutely.
after. And it's like,
well, I want references.
Okay,
I'm not.
okay.
I'm making sure that Bob out in Wyoming's not just typing stuff in and saying he's at
no
Boston
shit,
College,
right? That's how
right?
it was originally.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it? Wiki? Is that where you can go
Yep.
in and edit?
Yep.
And I was tempted a couple of times on the Nathan Eovaldi website to be like, wait a
minute, let me
where did that
switch
come
this
from?
up.
And I'm like, nope, staying out of it.
Let them do it. Yeah.
Staying out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a crazy.
I love technology.
Me
I
too.
have always embraced it.
Same.
During the pandemic, when I was, partying online with the friends,
Sure.
I got a master's in business.
Okay.
I'd always wanted an MBA.
Uh huh.
I didn't want to say that I didn't think I needed it. I always wanted one. I had friends who were not healthcare people who had MBAs. And I was like, I've always wanted one, and it was just so interesting. It's the world. It's the world that we live
Yeah.
in. It's all the business aspects,
Yeah.
right? And so I went into program management, which is essentially what I do now. Is I'm a program manager with a lot of love for these nurses.
But so what is your job detail? Like, what is it? Like, I mean, I know you work with nurses, fresh out of school?
brand new grads.
And for how long?
They have a license. The program is 1 year.
Okay.
So they're in a residency. It's kind of like, so when doctors come out of college, so first they're medical students.
Yep.
And then they're, first year residents
Yep.
and then second year, and then they go into their specialties.
Right.
So in fact, I'm so excited. We just got these little badge tags that they wear that say nurse resident to let people know, hey, I'm brand new.
Okay.
Because my badge says RN or LPN, but I'm brand new. And there are people on their own units who are like, who's that new person? Like, is she? Well, it says RN. Okay. Physicians, they have high expectations when you have RN on your badge.
Sure.
So, hey, pump the brakes. I'm a brand new grad, and when I give these to the nurse residents, they are so happy because it's like grace.
Yeah,
Please be nice to me. I'm new.
Yeah.
Nobody, not one.
It's
person
not like I
has
don't want to
said,
be the new guy. It's like bullshit. Let them know I'm the
I want to
new.
be the new guy. Yeah. So what I do is I facilitate. I make sure. I mean, my elevator speech. When people say, "What do you do?" I am blessed and grateful that I get to support and facilitate safe, competent, confident nurses.
Okay.
That's what I do. So for the first year,
Is implementing the program you built?
there's a lot.
Or they have their own thing?
Well, no, we do have seminars. We have monthly seminars that they come to, and it's the soft skills stuff.
Right.
Like we are working on seminar 1 right now, which is safety, which is critical. I mean, safety is our number one thing.
But when do they do this? I mean, on the clock?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
We pay them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which is another reason I'm pretty firm about you. You have chosen this. We have chosen you.
Right.
I have a 10-page handbook for the residency that all the expectations. So in addition to making sure that you are a safe, competent nurse, you are going to attend all the classes. You're going to get your advanced cardiac life support. You're going to go to your specialty classes. You're going to come to the welcome class.
Do you get pushback? Or is it like most people are just glad
they're grateful
to be getting on the
they're
right?
Grateful. Now, sometimes when they get on down the road, when they're like almost a year out, it's interesting because there's it's the same curve. I see it all the time and time again with their attitude. Like, yes, I'm a brand new grad. I'm so excited. And then they get on their own and they're like, oh my word, because they've had this preceptor who has been guiding them and blinding them.
Sure.
And once they're on their own, the blinders are off. They're like,
wait.
It's a stark reality, right? Because they don't get to wear that resident badge anymore.
Are you
right?
like, imagine coming out of college and that being how it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what you're going, hey, you have it way, this is a huge thing.
But we are taking care of human lives.
Yeah.
Every day.
Right.
And when I tell my nurses, we do this thing called bedside handoff, and it is for patient safety. When I come on shift, I'm not going to sit at the desk and you read a report to me and tell me about Nick.
No, we're going to go in there.
We're going in the room.
We're going to meet him together. You're going to introduce me to him.
You know why? Because as the oncoming nurse, I am taking responsibility for this life.
Right. Yeah.
Period. End of the day. And sometimes that enough is to make my nurses who are in it for the money go,
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try this for a couple of months. And if it doesn't, because I'm like, it's either here or it's not.
Yeah.
And
so that's what's so crazy. What I think would be hard, really hard, is you're dealing with, not just patients, but their people. Whatever you described yourself as for your sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The advocate. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was when my dad's situation, my mom kind of gets a hold of me and she's a mess. Yeah. She's like, and she typically would be the one. But she kind of just goes, I need you here for everything.
Absolutely.
Because you'll soak it, you'll ask. I go, I got you. Say no more.
Absolutely.
I don't even know. I can ask questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do.
And I think that's it. Originally, it's like, oh, great, I'm going to go be the thorn in this nurse's side. I never was like that.
I love it. I love that.
It was more like when they would see me come in, it's like, hey, before you go in there, come here. Here's what happened today.
I'll tell you what, when my dad had his stroke at St. Mary's, I had already worked there.
Okay.
I hadn't been there. But, I mean, there are people who still work there that worked there when I worked there.
Okay.
Crazy,
We love it.
Yeah. And again, a lot of it's geography.
For sure.
Like, where else are you going to work? It's a good job.
Either here or there.
Here or there, yeah. And so when my dad and a little bit because I'm an ICU nurse and I'm like, I'm nice, but I'm like, I want to know. These are my questions. This is what I need. And so I would walk through the door and the lady at the front desk, she was so nice and she would say, hey, hi. And I know she was on the phone. The ICU nurse from Houston is here. She's on her way. She's in the elevator. The doors would open and they would say, hi, Marla, how was your flight? And I'd say, it's great. How's my dad?
Yeah.
He's ornery. And I'd say, he sure is.
Yeah.
Which, good.
Yeah.
You should know who I am.
Right, for sure.
You absolutely should.
Yeah.
And when I got that kind of family member, I would say, please bring a notepad because I want you to write down questions. And when I give you the answers or I get the physician in the room for you, I want you to write them down.
Yeah.
Because the rest of your family's going to want to
Yep.
know. And you're not going to remember any
The
of this.
third time you say it, you're going to change that shit. It's going to get repeated.
Yep. You're not going to remember any of this. So I want you. And, you know, there's always that family member that nobody wants to take care of the patient because of that family member. And I would volunteer. I would be like, because they're writing everything down.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes in their room. And I'm like, you know why? Because we did something to them.
They lost trust
or
somewhere
their
along
family
the
member,
line.
they lost trust.
We're going to help them get it back.
We have, and this is the other soft thing with the nurses. I teach them, you have 2 minutes to build trust with that patient.
Yeah.
That very first time you meet them, that morning that you come in to do bedside shift report, if you don't look them in the eye and make them know that you are invested in taking care of them for the next 12, 13, 14 hours,
Forget it.
you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You're going to have a really crappy day, you know? And so that's what was hard during the pandemic. We didn't even let student nurses in the hospital.
Oh,
so they didn't even get to practice on real people.
Ooh.
So they would come in like, oh, I don't even know. So we would practice. I'd be the patient. And
Oh.
I would set up a little room and they would draw numbers. And
Oh, you're getting experience.
I'm going to,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, we're going to practice this. And so,
And I think a lot of it, I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like what you're going for and doing, I would even think from their standpoint, you still have to get instructions on how to get there, but it's
absolutely.
for the greater good of
Absolutely.
You're
Well,
making me a better nurse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had to just, you know, I always tell, and I tell them everything that we talk about in class is Vegas, confidential, but I'm always going to be there for them. And I got a call from a nurse today from Texas who she was a resident of mine like 2 or 3 years ago, and we're still in great contact because, you know, she's like, hey, this happened. I don't know if I handled it really well. And I'd say, okay, tell me what happened. You know,
Just like mentoring a little bit.
absolutely mentoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to be a mentor. I want to, you know, mentor leaders and nurses. And so last week I had a situation where I got a call from one of the managers who I had just done 4 calls with all the leadership across the 5 hospitals to say, here's the handbook, because I'm new, and I'm trying to put things all on the same page.
Yep.
So here's the 10-page handbook. This is what we are doing now. I am here. If you have questions, problems, I'm your girl. I'm also here for you. So if you struggle or if you've got something going on with one of the nurses and you're not sure how to handle it, please let me know. 3 days later, I get a call, and the manager said, I'm a new manager and I'm kind of struggling, and I feel silly calling you, but you said to call. And I said, I'll be there in an hour.
Good move.
You betcha.
Right.
I said, well, can you tell me what's going on? And she said, well, the nurse has kind of been crying on and off all day. And when we ask her, what's the matter? Nothing.
Right.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
No.
Something
She's
is clearly
something
bad.
is not fine.
Yeah.
So I went and I just pretended and I just show up all the time. I get to the hospital sometimes at 5:45 in the morning because I want to see the night shift. And they're always like, you drove to Lincoln at 5:30 in the morning to see me? Yes. I want to check on you.
Right.
When I say I am here for you, I am here for you.
Right.
And so when that manager called me, I was like, I'm coming. And
That's your thing.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I went and I just walked in with my briefcase like I always do, my purse, and I'm like, hey, y'all, da-da-da-da-da, and everybody's high-fiving and saying hi, and I get hugs. You know, I take it to them. It's either a knuckle bump or a hug. That's me. That's how we do it.
And you're like, you're crying. What's up?
And so I'm rounding because that's what I do. I round on them. So I find her. She's down in a corner. And I said, hey, how's your day? Bursts into tears.
Immediately.
And I said,
Shitty.
where's your preceptor? We're going to go have a cup of tea. And she's like, all right. So we find her preceptor. I say, I'm taking her. We're going to go to the cafeteria. She's like, okay. So I take her down to the cafeteria, and we get a cup of tea, and we sit in the corner, and we just start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and she's just so overwhelmed. It
wasn't home stuff. It was just
home stuff.
Just overwhelmed.
It's a lot. Like, she's like, Marla, like, this is a lot. These patients are so sick, and if I miss something, I said,
You're like, you got to dial back a little.
That's what I told her.
Yeah,
Take a deep
yeah,
breath,
yeah,
sister.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we're doing right now. We're going to prioritize.
Right. Even
Yeah,
better. If you don't
we're
have
gonna-
crazy shit going on at home, we're great then. We're going to figure this out for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, because those are actually the worst
Yeah,
ones.
we thought you got a Chat GPT breakup text.
The worst ones are when they stroll by my office. Like, my office is in another building. So when you are strolling by office,
You're
something's
lost.
up. Something's up. I put the Kleenex on the table. I say, come on in. I shut the door. And the last one that happened like that was her and her husband were splitting up. And she's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my job. And I'm like, well, okay, whoa, back up. So why do you think that you may not? Well, because now I'm going to be a single mom. And I said, slow down.
Yeah.
Is he still living in the house? She said, yeah. I said, well, first of all, then you two need to discuss how you're going to get him to school.
Right.
How you're both going to go to work, because you're both going to still need a job.
It's just having somebody.
It is.
Right? To go, I'm on the outside looking in, and it's so easy to tell you what you should do.
Well, and
or not really, not so easy, but a lot of choices are obvious, but it's hard to make.
Well,
or hard to even see if you're in it. That's what I mean.
The other thing is 90% of the time I don't say anything. I just push the Kleenex over.
Get it out.
Get it out.
Right.
And sometimes
just need that.
Sometimes they're mad.
Right.
And they're mad about this. So they talk themselves around, and then they're like, so I guess in the big scheme of things, it's not really that bad.
Oh, yeah, because you're even going, come to me with your problems.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I'm going to fix them.
No,
I'm going to help you deal with them.
Absolutely not. The only times that I will tell anybody that you even came to my office is if something is going to happen to a patient. If I feel like something is happening on the unit or you're not giving good care.
Right.
I mean, I had to tell a nurse last week who, called me to let me know that she no longer works where we work together because of what she did. And I said, well, they were right to let you go. And she said, I know.
Oh, okay.
But she said, I just wanted you to know that happened, because she said, I care about what you think of me.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So it's a great job.
Yeah. You seem like seems like a really busy job.
It is super fun.
Yeah.
And I love the nursing students when they're in the hospital working with the nurses, and I'm out there they're all in uniform, right? And I'm like, hi, I'm Marla. I'm the residency coordinator. You're gonna do a residency when you graduate. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you should come work with us.
Right.
My boss is like, I heard you were out panhandling in the ER today. I'm like, darn right. There's like 10 nurses
fresh
down there.
meat over here. Yeah.
Job security.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, heck yeah. And then the other end of that, I have a lot of credentials now on my card. It's so funny because I never, ever would have. I mean, the person who's probably the most proud in heaven is my dad.
Right.
Go back to school.
Yeah.
Go back
You're
to
like,
school,
I'm educated up now.
My dad, I have 2 master's degrees and a postmaster's. I'm like, I think I'm good.
I was going to ask you, are you done with school?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I feel like,
What?
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I love school so much that if somebody paid me, that would be my job.
To go to school?
To go to school. I love it. Well, I'm not kidding. When I did the MBA,
the reward at the end of earning something, or you just like
I love the learning.
Yeah.
And the reward of
Sure.
And honestly,
succeeding is awesome.
I don't need the whole certificate. I didn't even go to any of the graduations. I'm not. I don't know.
No, but, right. The completion is good.
Completion is fine.
Yeah.
It's good because I achieved what I started out to do.
Right.
But I love the learning, lifelong learning. And that's what, in healthcare, you have to be. Look how fast things change.
Yeah.
Things change so fast. So.
Well, how cool, man. You have just seemed to stumble into an awesome existence.
I really have. It is
lots
so
of stumbles,
good to
right?
be me. I can't tell you.
It sounds like
I
it.
wake up so grateful every day. I used to wake up like, yes, another day. Like with the attitude that it was infinite. Like, yes, another day. Today I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And now my attitude is, I got another day.
Right.
So today I'm going to make sure this happens. Hug your mama, kiss your dog, the whole thing. Text your sister at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Reach out to your godmother in the afternoon if you haven't talked to her. You got a friend in Chicago who lost a job. You say, hey, you're on my heart today.
Right.
I'm praying for you, I hope, I don't know. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Well, sometimes if you're just a good person and you work hard, good shit happens.
Yeah, I have worked really hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I have worked hard.
Yeah, there's no shortcutting. When you lay out. Well, and your achievements, there's no shortcutting that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right.
Even if you didn't go to graduation, it wasn't easy.
No,
Look how much you liked it.
It was fun, though.
Sure.
It really was. You know what I love the most about the MBA? Well, you got to do projects for every class. Because I did the one where you go at your own pace. And so you'd finish a class and then I mean, I like projects. I like the, digging in. And so I did a couple of really cool ones, but marketing.
Yeah.
Man, I learned so much. And I'm like, that's how they trick me.
For sure, right? But that's like one of the most overlooked.
It's incredible.
One of the biggest savings people make when they're starting a company is to cut marketing, and it's
That's
like
crazy.
You double down. Double down.
I don't want to talk badly about a local restaurant who now has an ad on TV that says they now have a protein menu. And I'm like, really? Because your original menu was all protein. So now you're just calling it a protein menu and charging probably an extra $1 for it,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like, marketing, baby. That's marketing. My brother-in-law, we were laughing about that last night.
It's true.
Because I'm like, I said, look at their menu. It hasn't changed. They've just repackaged it. And now, because
they can charge more.
Protein thing now. Yeah. Now we have a protein menu.
I'm going to order off the healthy menu.
I'm going to order, I'm going to McDonald's. I'm going to get the, the fish instead of the whatever. I'm like, oh, no. So, I'm blessed for sure. Well, I'm blessed. I've worked hard. Hasn't always been easy, but.
Traveling is awesome. So rewarding yourself is really cool. I think that's important.
Absolutely. The trips are great.
Yeah. It's like and I have a hard time doing it, is like my grandpa used to say, and then now my mom always says it, like, stop and smell the roses. Like, I work a lot, and it's like one of them to work goes, hey, don't work to a point to enjoy yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So it's hard. Yeah.
Well, and like pre-pandemic, we never talked about taking care of ourselves in healthcare. We didn't.
Right.
I mean, we were Nike.
Your job is to take care of people.
We were Nike girls. Just do it.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
And do it. And that's the way I grew up, right? My dad, stand you up, brush you off, send you back out there. That's just the way it was. And so now self-care is so important. I tell my nurses every single day, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Fair.
You have got to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like in class yesterday, I said, let's talk about the things we can do to take care of ourselves at work. And they're like, oh, I feel guilty when I go to the bathroom. I'm like, really? I know. I used to be that girl. I always kid that I worked in the ICU for 17 years and I only went to the bathroom 17 times.
Right.
Like, kind of
Pick
felt
your
that
day
way,
a year.
right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, but get the manicure, go on vacation.
Right. The little
things.
Whatever.
Every day. Like for me, I have a dog. I love her. She's great. I belong to a great church. My family, like it's all those little things that I mean, I leave here, I'm going to Taco Tuesday. Like it's family night at Taco Tuesday. We're all going to meet.
Right. Where you go to Taco Tuesday?
Tonight we're going to the 48.
Oh, yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah. We have taco salad.
Oh, yeah. So that's like right down the road. That's usually my Taco Tuesday spot. It's right down the road from me.
Yeah. So Bunkers has a good Taco Tuesday also, but they do walking tacos.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah.
I like, you know the guys, Jeff and Bob that own?
I do.
Yeah.
In fact, after you asked me to come and talk on or to be interviewed on your podcast, I, of course, got online. And so I watched the one with Jeff.
Yeah.
And so the next time I saw him, I said, hey, Jeff, I watched your interview. And he's like, you did?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And I said, it was really good. He said, oh, thanks. He seemed kind of,
Yeah. He's never been a stranger to a mic. He's pretty good.
Yeah, well, me either.
Yeah.
I mean, my friends are always like, don't
You'd
give her a
be
microphone.
surprised the number of people who've, like, it's a process. You know what I mean? I'm going, like, it'd be different if there was, like, people here, but it's just us.
Oh, gosh, not even. Like,
it's just us. And it takes 20 minutes probably usually to get people just to be themselves.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We were kidding. My buddy Kevin, he invited me to church. So I started going to church there. And I love the music loud. I like contemporary Christian.
Where do you go to church?
Central Christian.
That's where I grew up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, my sister got married there.
Yeah, so my friend Kathy came back to church because I saw her, another God thing, ran into her, and I asked her, where are you going to church? Because I would just move back to town. And I had been to that church, and I had been to another church. And she said, well, I'm not really going. And I said, well, good. Me and Kevin are going to Central Christian. Come. So they have this praise band, and they're really good, right? And it's contemporary, and I know all the songs because
then that's a completely different Central Christian to me.
Absolutely.
Because I remember it as being hymns and like that was
They still do that. That's traditional.
Oh.
But this is
There's another service?
Century. Yeah, so there's an 8 o'clock, 9:15 is contemporary. It's downstairs.
Gotcha.
I'm inviting you to church.
It's not. I know where you're talking about. It used to be the Great Hall.
Yeah, it is still the Great Hall. So you go downstairs to the Great Hall. 9:15. Music is loud. It's fun. I mean, and it's still the same message
Sure.
that Pastor Michael gives upstairs. And then he does another traditional upstairs with the gown.
Yeah. That was my childhood, was sitting through that.
Well, see,
and it was
we
just
didn't
like,
go to church growing up. Yeah. But down south, when Nathan's dad and I got divorced, my friends were all going to church. I wasn't a churchgoer then.
Okay.
And so I asked them one time, we were all out on Saturday afternoon shopping or something, and they were like, well, I'll pick you up for church. And I said, can I go? And they were all like, yes, you can.
Yeah.
So I started going, and Nathan and Becca were engaged, and my daughter-in-law now, Becca, she said, are you going to that church? And I said, yeah. And she said, can I go with you? And I said, absolutely.
Yeah, let's go.
So then Nathan comes home, and now Nathan's going. Now my grandkids go. It's
sweet.
Phenomenal.
I was going to say Texas, they do God and football, I heard.
You betcha. And baseball.
And baseball.
Yeah.
But no, I think what got me always was how their football stadiums are bigger than their pro stadiums and college stadiums or high school stadiums are just massive. That's great.
Yeah. But the cool thing, but getting back to the microphone thing, so we were talking, Kevin and I were texting about there's some changes in the band, and I'm like, well, who's going to be singing? Because Kathy and I used to karaoke.
Oh,
like
shit.
we used to do the bar circuit in Decatur in our 20s.
Sure.
And karaoke, right? And so, and we kid every Sunday.
Are you about to say you're the praise leader?
Oh, no. No. I like to sing. I didn't say I could.
Right.
But, so Kevin's like, well, I don't know. I said, well, Kathy and I have karaoke a time or two in our day. And he's like, I said I was kidding.
Yeah.
Because she would kill me
Right.
if I said, Kathy, guess what? We're leading praise Sunday.
Right. It's just like karaoke in our 20s. Just like it.
Hey, now some of the music is actually pretty close. And they do some contemporary, like some 70s stuff. I don't know. I can't even. You should come. You should just come to church. It's really fun.
I might.
You should
might
come check it out.
All right. Well, it's 4:30. That went quick.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
I appreciate
inviting
you
me.
coming. I'm
This
glad
is
you came
cool.
in. I knew you were interesting when I talked to you then, so it was like, hey, let's see what's really going on. A gig that a really important job that I didn't know existed. That's really
Thank you.
It's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of those though. There's a lot of
There
jobs that no one
are.
thinks about
Yes.
until it happens. But
Yes, that's so true. Well, even all the support,
Yeah.
all the supporting, I always call them the supporting acts at
Yep.
the hospital.
Yep.
When I walked into St. Mary's that very first day looking for even the administrative assistant job, I thought all that worked in the hospital was nurses and doctors. Like I had no
Right.
idea there were all these
Right.
other jobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is great. And so I have helped peers and friends
Yeah.
get jobs because I'm like, dude, you're a technical genius. We need you
we
on
got
the
IT
team.
for sure.
Biomed,
Yeah.
engineering.
Everything.
Like we have all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, welcome back to the 217. It sounds like you had an
From the
interesting
713.
interesting journey to get back here. But
yeah, I did. But it was well worth it. I'm really grateful to be here.
yeah. Well, good for you. You're living life.
I am.
You're happy.
Every
You're
day.
positive. I think you seem like a really good person. I think that's why shit happens good. You know what I mean?
I think
The
it
universe
helps.
or whatever we call it gives
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
I mean, it ain't always been easy, but
No.
it always works itself out.
Right.
And that's what I tell the nurses too. I'm like, you know what? Just give it some time. Don't make rash decisions. Don't quit your job today. Don't walk out mad. Don't do any of that stuff. Just let
Chill.
it lay.
Yeah.
Just
But that is it.
Let it.
That's the thing is that you just need someone to remind you of that, and you're going so hard in your head that you can't even,
yes.
you know what I mean? So I think
Absolutely.
that's huge. I mean, I think probably that's what made sense about you going. A lot of times I don't even talk. I just slide the Kleenex. It's like
Yeah.
they just needed to get that
They
shit
just
out.
need to just say it.
Their husband or wife didn't go, well, what's bothering you today?
Right.
Because they went to work.
Yeah, yeah, and they come home and they have all this, they can't talk about it.
Right.
And nobody honestly wants to hear all that either.
Right.
Like, you've spent 12, 13 hours taking care of people at their worst, and
Yeah.
it's not always pretty.
I have dated. I was only married for like a couple months of my whole life, so I've dated a lot. I've
Yes.
dated a lot of women that worked at the hospitals,
Sure.
and oh man, there was nothing worse than hanging out with the girl I would date and her friends from work. It's like, what are we talking about here? Good Lord, like,
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
why that's how I'm different. We don't talk about work. My dad, when I was a travel nurse and all my travel nurse buddies, my dad, that was the other great thing about dad and me being a road tripper.
Uh-huh.
He would come and visit me because he's like, this is payback. Like all the places I took you when you were a kid, now you're paying me back.
Yes.
Oh my word, he came to Colorado.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, Dad, we're going to go out for a beer after work. And he's like, all right. And so we would tell him where to meet us, and we would be there. And I remember the one night I think we were in Greeley, Colorado, which is about an hour north of Denver. And he's like, just watching, and we're just having a good time, you know? And he's like, you don't even talk about work. And I'm like, no, we
do that shit all day.
Like the last thing we're going to do is come and talk about work. He's like, I have never met nurses that didn't talk about their job. And I'm like, well, we don't.
Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. And it's not just nurses, right? It'd probably be the same thing if it was beauticians or insurance salesmen or whatever. Probably. If you ain't got shit else to talk about, if you don't let yourself have anything other than that, then that's what you talk about.
That's exactly right.
You know what I mean? Because most of the time it was like, I don't even think they're friends. They just work together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're off the same day. Want to hang out? My boyfriend will hang out with yours. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, honestly, though, I've had some good friendships that have, especially us ICU nurses, we kind of stick together. And it's helpful if you're married and they're married, and then all the buddies can, hosted. God, I can't even tell you how many barbecues we had at our house on the weekend, because why not?
Yeah.
Like, we got to let our hair down, because what we do is hard.
Yeah. Yeah, there was plenty of barbecues at the end. I would go, if something goes wrong with one of us, you guys are the people we're going to see. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, you guys are way too regular, right? You know what I mean?
So it's funny too. I had a travel buddy named Heather. She and I did a lot of assignments together. And I remember I think we were in Colorado, and we were I saw Brooks and Dunn before they ever hit it big at the Stampede, which is like the local rodeo, right? And we were out, and there were, a bunch of cowboys, and we were just having a good time. And we're young and cute and having fun, and we're out, and we've closed the bar, and I think we had worked the night before, so we're talking like fumes.
Yes.
Fumes. And Heather looked at me this one time, and she was like, wouldn't it be awful if tomorrow night one of these people were our patients? And I said, they would probably turn around and walk out.
Right. Oh, no, I'm going to the other one.
In the hot tub that did 24 hours, and they were up 24 hours.
Right.
Probably drank us under the table.
Let's go to the next hospital. Right? It's the regular people thing. Yeah. No. But no, I really appreciate you. Just kind of accepting randomly a stranger asking you to come sit down and talk. It worked out good. It was really fun to talk to you.
Thank you.
I knew it would be. And go get Bobby Lane's brisket.
I'm going to go get some brisket.
You got it.
For sure. Thank you very much.
That's
how this whole conversation started.
Yes.
Someone asked me why I wasn't happy, and I said, because I haven't had brisket every week like I'm used to having in Houston. And he was sitting there, and he said, why not? And here I am.
Yeah, that's funny. But, well, no, it was an absolute pleasure, and we'll wrap up so we can go Taco Tuesday at wherever it happens. Hey, thank you guys for joining me on another episode of the Beyond Business Podcast. Again, I encourage you to subscribe and follow us on all platforms and social media. We'll catch you in a week. Until then, be kind to each other. Quick shout out to our partners, W Energy, clean energy, no crash. Use code BeyondBiz at w.gg for 10% off. Oakwood Screen Printing, custom apparel done right, from small runs to big orders. And Midwest Lightning Rods, protecting homes and businesses from lightning strikes across the Midwest. Now let's go. Beyond Business.
Yo, we on business. Yo, we out here hitting that grind. Podcast vibes, letting loose, unwind. Next on the mic, yeah, he flexing with pride. Meeting dope souls, taking you on the ride. Talking about life, not just that paper. Doing it big, ain't no time for a hater. People yap behind his back, but we rise like the sun. Gather round, fam, we just having some fun. Beyond business, it's a vibe, feel that thrill, getting intimate. May even get your heart filled. Meeting the legends, those raw and real. Digging deep thoughts, show you how to feel. From the block to the boardroom, we making that move. Beyond business, baby, yeah, we got the groove. Shout out to the hustlers, the real street thugs. We all eat together, no need for the drugs. Yeah, you blessed with the gift, determined to thrive. Nick's breaking it down, keeping that fire alive. Let's go deep like the ocean, no bluff. Beyond business, baby, we can't get enough.